Hello friends and fam, enlightened beings, Hardcore Yogi here. So in the first video or the previous video, we looked at what is meditation. Now getting into what are the benefits of meditation. I want to start with a few benefits that are more sort of Western, material and rational, and then getting into more esoteric benefits. So firstly, what's one benefit of meditation? One benefit is it brings greater brain coherence and greater brain-heart coherence. And this has been proven in many studies. You can look it up. I might even provide links here. You can look at meditation and brain coherence. Meditation, brain and heart coherence. So look into that. But what we mean by coherence here is essentially the many different hemispheres of the brain, or there's two hemispheres, but the many brain regions, the hemispheres, they all activate and they communicate. They find more synchronicity with each other. That is an observed benefit of meditation. There's been many experiments done where they have done brain scans on monks who then meditate during the brain scan. And yeah, they see the whole brain light up like a Christmas tree. And they also see some specific parts of the brain become active during specific meditations. One common trait is the prefrontal cortex becomes very active. That's the most developed part of our brain, decision making, self-control, things like that, rational thinking. So in that way, meditation is a way to sort of flex our brain. It's to get our brain active in a good groove. So that's one difference. And then we'll go into brain and heart coherence. So this brings the heart into play. The heart is like a brain in a sense. It has a lot of nerve impulses, a lot of electrical energy. It sends and receives signals similar to the skull brain. And once again, it's been observed that as you become more advanced in meditation, you can get stronger, more coherent signals through the heart. This can be measured with electricity. So there's more I want to add to this benefit. With coherence, brain and heart coherence, it can be measured. There's actually a quite accessible way to measure this. It's called heart rate variability monitoring. So you can hook yourself up to these machines. You can put it on your finger, for instance, and I bought one of these a while ago, and it measures your heart rate variability. Now this pretty much just measures how consistent is the space between each beat of your heart. Now, if it's got a very consistent rhythm, that actually shows that you are in a state of stress. Whereas when it's more of a sporadic rhythm, it might go boom, 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 and more goes at its own leisure, that shows you are in more of a state of relaxation, more at ease. It's kind of counterintuitive. You would think a solid rhythm is sort of more harmonious, but that's more a stress response. The body is more vigilant. So yeah, you can measure your heart rate variability, and this points to how synchronized and harmonious your brain and your heart as a whole is. Your state of stress versus your state of harmony. And yeah, meditation certainly is a great tool for bringing that heart rate variability into alignment, bringing your heart and brain coherence into alignment. So that's a big benefit of meditation. Another benefit, which is also pretty scientific and rational, is it can lower and therefore alter our default mode network. So our default mode network, it's this term from neuroscience. And it pretty much points to the neural networks in our brain which become the habitual grooves that we are in. It is our habitual ways of thinking, acting, perceiving, our habitual behaviors, judgments, emotional responses. It is the habit of being ourselves. And what meditation does, as well as psychedelics do this, it lowers your default mode network. So it sort of helps you come away from the grooves that your adult brain is in. And it's like becoming a kid again, in a sense. And suddenly, because these sort of grooves, these encrusted grooves are no longer in place, every part of our brain can communicate with other ones much more easily. Brain regions that weren't communicating as well before can communicate more easily. And we can make novel connections to things we did not before. There can be novel insights. So that's very typical of the psychedelic experience. But then again, any trance state, including meditation experiences, they can help do this. It's very optimal when we can lower our default mode network. It makes our brain more efficient because, as I said, it can access more of its own potential. So yeah, that's another benefit of meditation, the default mode network. And now I want to go into a bit more of a esoteric or Eastern view of the benefits of meditation. It can really be summed up as going from the doing to the being. And I believe that it's a real key pillar of higher consciousness to be prioritizing the being, going more into the being. So how does meditation help us access the being? What does that even mean, to be in the being? You see, so often in life we are doing to try achieve results that we think will make us happy. But happiness is actually a state of being. You can be at ease, happy and joyful right now, in this moment. The simplest thing can create happiness. So happiness is not a ledger of achievements. It is a state of being. And it has qualities such as presence, alertness, wakefulness, calmness, peace, loving kindness, gratitude, joyfulness, fun, play. These are all qualities of being that constitute happiness. And with meditation, we can learn to drop the doing of life, the sort of habitual constant doing activity, and we release the tension of that and we come more into just pristine being. We find the full cup of energy and aliveness in this moment, or the simple peace and satisfaction in this moment. Then we realize that state of happiness, it can be accessed in any moment if we make the time to get there. And then we can live our life more from that place. We can let the activities of our life be an expression of that happiness, as opposed to a pursuit of happiness down the road. So it's like fast-tracking happiness. So the last thing I'll say on that, it's like a shift where you realize that this moment is the moment to celebrate life. We don't need to wait till some future victory to celebrate, but we can celebrate now because we are alive now. And we just need to acknowledge that. So that's a huge benefit of meditation. It takes us from the doing to the being. We access those happy states of being now, and instead of a future destination, we find our happiness and celebration now. So that sums up the benefits of meditation here for me. We had the heart and brain coherence, switching the brain on, which brings greater harmony, greater relaxation. We looked at the default mode network, accessing more of our potential connections in our brain. Then we looked at going from the doing to the being. Hope you enjoyed this video. Much peace, much love. Namaste.